In June of last year, I exhorted you to treat your sins like dirty dishes. You remember that? My exhortation was that you obey Ephesians 4:26 and 27. Be angry and do not sin. Do not let the sun go down on your wrath. Give no opportunity to the devil. So here's the principle. When you sin, deal with your sin promptly. Confess your sin to God. Ask the person you sinned against to forgive you. Do it that very day. Do it before you go to bed. Don't go to bed with metaphorical dirty dishes piled up in the kitchen. Treat your sins like dirty dishes. So now, I'd like to give you a follow-up exhortation. Here it is. When you sin against someone, promptly ask that person to forgive you. So I'd like to unpack that now. Now, this is super practical because you're all sinners. And you all sin against people regularly. That's what sinners do. The difference between a healthy church and an unhealthy church, or between a healthy Christian household and an unhealthy Christian household, is not that the healthy ones never sin. It's that the healthy ones confess their sins promptly. They deal with them right away. So imagine this scenario. Maybe this happened in your family this morning. Your family is getting ready to leave the home to meet with the church on Sunday morning. There's a flurry of activity to get in the car so that you can get there on time. And as the kids are putting on their coats and their shoes, a sister bumps into her brother accidentally. The brother doesn't know it was an accident, and he responds by saying, "Hey, watch where you're going," and pushes his sister. Okay, so freeze that scene. This is going to illustrate my exhortation. The sister accidentally bumped into her brother. It really was an accident. She didn't do it maliciously. So what should she do? She should immediately say to her brother, "I'm what? I'm sorry." In other words, I'm sorrowful that I bumped you. Didn't mean to bump you. I'm really sorry about that. So she's acknowledging sorrow. Does she need to ask for forgiveness? I would say no, with the footnote that, well, if these kind of accidents are happening like every 5 minutes, and mom and dad routinely exhort her to be thoughtful of the people around you and to love your neighbor as yourself, and she's being delinquent there, okay, maybe she should confess that then. But as the general rule, you accidentally bump someone, you didn't sin against them, it's an "I'm sorry." Okay, now let's talk about the brother. The brother responded by angrily speaking to his sister and pushing her. So what should the brother do? First thing he should do before he talks to another person, another human, is to say, "God, please forgive me for shouting at my sister angrily and for pushing her." You can do that in your head without making sound. But your sin is first, most fundamentally against God. So get right with God first, and that can happen quickly. And then what should he say to his sister? He should say something like this: "I'm sorry for speaking angrily to you and for pushing you. Would you please forgive me for being angry and unkind?" And what should the sister do immediately? Forgive him mercifully, right away. That's the right thing to do. So this illustrates what I'm exhorting you. When you sin against someone, deal with your sin promptly by asking that person to forgive you. So here are some principles you can see in that exchange. One principle is that if you didn't sin against someone, don't ask for forgiveness. That would be lying. So if you accidentally bump into someone, that's an "I'm sorry." That's not a "please forgive me." When you do sin against someone, you need to ask for forgiveness. And when you sin most fundamentally against God, so don't forget to ask God for forgiveness. It's not purely person to person down here, horizontally. First, it's vertically with God. And then further, after you ask God to forgive you, ask the person you sinned against to forgive you and do it promptly. Don't put it off. Don't wait. Don't treat your sins like dirty dishes. Don't sweep it under the rug. Don't ignore it and hope it goes away. Just deal with it. That's what healthy Christians do. And then when you ask someone to forgive you, name your sin with a Bible word for that sin. So it's no good when all you do is say, please forgive me. For what? Be specific. Like in your mind, you might be thinking, please forgive me for not pleasing you in the way you thought I should please you. Or that could be totally lame. Name what you're asking forgiveness for and use a Bible word for it. Like, is it lying, bitterness, anger? There's a lot of sins in the Bible. Be specific. What was the sin that you committed? Name it and ask for forgiveness for that sin. So brothers and sisters, I exhort you for the glory of God and for the health of your soul and your family's health and our church's health, when you sin against someone, promptly ask that person to forgive you.